beyond. So just giving you a brief bio about them. I will um, dive into that soon. But also, if you have any questions, please write them in the chat, or you could use the Q&A bubble at the bottom of your Zoom screen. So Beauty Braids and Beyond, BBB, is a Black and women-owned online beauty supply store who uses innovation and education as tools to help their clients address their unique hair, skin, and beauty needs. Their vision is to become the cutting-edge retailer that revolutionizes the hair care and beauty supply shopping experience for individuals worldwide. Their core values include collaboration, community building, and client commitment. The three C's encompass their vision and mission to transform the framework of the beauty supply culture. With collaboration at the forefront, BBB collaborates with other Black-owned retailers. Community building reflects the values of the BBB founders who believe it is important to reinvest in our communities however and whenever we can. Client commitment demonstrates their dedication to improving the quality of their products and continuously improving their brand and making sure that they adhere to their values. Their slogan is breaking the barriers of beauty. So thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having us. It's just me today. My business partners are actually at another engagement, but I'm so happy and honored to be here and be able to speak on behalf of my business, our business.
Thank you so much. Sorry for the noise in the back here. You might hear my son trying to make appearances. So I know I gave a breakdown of the business, but can you discuss a little bit about your program and what service you provide for the community?
So our online beauty supply store is meant to be a source of education for our clients when they come to our site, to be able to determine what they need to take care of their hair. We're still working on the back end and, constantly finding ways to improve that aspect of our business. But Black hair is a part of my identity and a part of all of our identity. And it's important that it's well maintained, and being able to provide that service where we're able to provide you with the education, not only on our website, but also on our social platforms. It's so important. How are you able to take care of your hair if you don't know what it needs or are able to identify what it needs? So that's like the main tenet of our service and our business.
It's absolutely amazing because it's very unusual that most hair stores, hair companies are not owned by Black people, but they cater the Black community. So to see Black people coming in to that demographic now is very inspiring, especially because there's a change in culture in terms of our hair, our natural hair, right? We're seeing a really big shift right now. So in this, since we're talking about like Black hair care, I guess we can kind of go into the wellness aspect. So what is Black wellness to you in this industry?
Black wellness to me is embracing your hair and taking care of it the way that it needs to be taken care of. So of course it's okay to wear weaves, of course it's okay to wear braids, but at the root of it is your natural hair, and you want to make sure that you're taking care of it despite the protective styles. You can put in braids, you can put in weaves, then I love doing both. But if you're not taking care of what's underneath it, then is it really protective styling? So in that aspect, I feel like Black wellness, and again, in the aspect of hair care, it's very important. Our hair is tied to our emotions sometimes. If we're not having a good hair day, sometimes we're just having a bad day in general, and that's reflective on the outside if you're not feeling confident in yourself on the inside. So being able to maintain your crown and be proud of it, that's really important, not just for wellness in general, but like for your mental health. One thing that I want to mention as well is if you're healthy, your hair is going to be healthy as well. If you're neglecting, your own day-to-day needs, and your own bodily needs, that's going to reflect in your hair. If you're stressed, that's going to reflect in your hair as well. Like the hormones that are produced in our body as a result of stress end up being of detriment to our hair. So I feel like it's all connected. If you're doing well, your hair will be doing well. And so Black wellness is definitely not just taking care of what's on the outside, but like just taking care of what's on the inside.
Wow. So, what are some of the challenges that you've faced? I imagine there's many hurdles trying to be a Black business selling Black hair care to the Black community. As even though it sounds simple, there's obviously some barriers. So, what are those that you faced so far?
Okay, so full disclaimer, we are very new. We launched November 2021, but we have been working on this business since 2020. A little bit of history. While we were developing this business, it was really important that we were kind of educating ourselves on the industry as a whole. And as we were doing that, we recognized that there is a really big gap in Black owned hair care beauty supplies stores that are catering to Black people. The history behind that is that, and this is going to tie into the hurdle as well. The history behind that is way back in the day, the Koreans had the sole manufacturing rights for like hair extensions, and basically US had ended up banning China from importing anything related to hair into the US, and the Koreans had kind of monopolized that industry, which is why you always see them behind the counters and behind the businesses of these beauty supply stores. And they monopolized the industry and made it really hard for other Black individuals to enter this industry. And it always came down to the finances. As a starting Black business, you need that financial backing to help you build your business, and also build your business in a way where you can at least be competitive with these non-Black owned beauty supply stores. And I can speak for, based on the research that we did, I could speak for a lot of the Black owned businesses that did start. It was really difficult to do that because there was a point where, you know, as wholesalers, Black people weren't the wholesalers. It was like the Koreans who were wholesaling like the products that Black women and men needed for their hair. And if I was a beauty supply owner at the time, looking to go and wholesale some of these products from these non-Black owned wholesalers, sometimes they would either tell me that they don't have it in stock when they did, they just didn't want to provide me with that, or maybe I didn't have the funds to be able to purchase at a wholesale rate that would allow me to be competitive with these other businesses. So I feel like for our business, we're very blessed in the fact that, you know, we did a lot of research. We had we had a very detailed and thorough business plan. We had mentorships that helped guide us along the way, and we were able to build a platform and provide these same products and services because of that extensive research that we did, which supported us in being able to get grants and loans to build our business, you know, at the same caliber as these other non-Black owned businesses, and be able to provide these competitive prices for our clients. A big hurdle, though, that I think we are going to continue to experience, just because it's in our nature to kind of stick to the things we already know. It's just kind of shifting the mindset of those around us and our communities to continue to support Black owned businesses, and in this case, Black owned beauty supply stores. So we are an online based beauty supply store. It's not easy to just pick up and drive to the hair store whenever you want, but we're working on developing a way that we're able to provide you with your service, with the products that you need as quickly as you need them, and then eventually later on down the line doing like pickups for our clients. So I think it's just shifting the mindset of our community when it comes to sharing or purchasing from a Black owned beauty supply store is probably one of the biggest hurdles that we've experienced in the past 3 months that we've been open.
And I guess it's good timing too, because during COVID, I don't think we expected the economy to kind of react the way that it did. We were so used to kind of going in store to go pick up things, and all of a sudden we were locked down. And the first thing I was like, what am I going to do with my hair? How am I going to get my hair products? For a lot
Yeah.
of us, it was very difficult. If you remember in the beginning of COVID, for some stores, they didn't consider Black hair care products as essential items.
Can you
So,
imagine that
which
they did not consider our hair as essential? This is our well-being. And how are you? Well, I know that there was a section in Walmart that was closed with the Black hair care, but I need to wash my hair. Like, I'm human. I have braids. Sorry. But it was like,
no,
it was ridiculous.
no, it's very telling. Like we need things for ourselves. It's not products are not all inclusive to us as they think it is. Yes, we can use it, but will it really do what we
Mhm.
need it to do for us?
Exactly.
Right? They don't understand that, and that's like the huge racial disparities that we have, right, at the moment. So, in 2019, the Canadian Mental Health Association found that 62% of entrepreneurs reported feeling depressed at least once per week, whereas 8% of Canadians perceive their mental health as poor or fair. So, this was just young entrepreneurs. So, do you feel that personal emotional investments took a toll on your mental health while trying to kind of create this business and trying to navigate?
Of course. It's a roller coaster when you're starting any kind of business. You have no idea what's going to happen, where it's going to go, and what where you may end up. And I think that alone in itself is a source of stress. And also, having these expectations of yourself and your business and maybe not meeting those timelines that you had planned for yourself, or applying for grants and being declined because people, aren't, I guess, believing in your vision the way like you believe it and expect others to believe in it. And that itself sometimes is like, it's super, super discouraging, but like you have to be mindful as well. I think like one thing that, you know, well, I'll speak for myself. One thing that I was mindful of is being acknowledging that there will be ups and downs from the very beginning, knowing that it's not always going to be rainbows and sunshines and puppies all the time. There are going to be some darker times. And just knowing that when you get to those darker times, that, something positive, you're doing something positive for like your community, for your people, and that, there will be brighter days, but it's like it's hills and valleys, and you got to manage that. With my mental, something that I do to kind of like manage that, um, when the gyms are open, because I can't work out at home. It just won't happen. I've tried, it doesn't work. But I go to the gym, which is really good for my mental health. It kind of gave me a place to just like decompress and not think about all the many things that are happening. But I'm also super religious, and just having faith and just trusting that everything will all work out for the greater good. Um, and knowing that, my hard work and my business partners, all of our hard work put together will end up paying off, and having the impact that we really want it to have within our communities, within Canada, and globally.
I like how you said and globally. You're thinking out into the future. So the next question would be is how has the pandemic played a role in the success and failure or the failure of your business? So I don't want to say success or failure, but the ups and downs. So how has that kind of played a negative or positive part?
You know what? It was pretty positive on the business front. Um, there was so much uncertainty when the pandemic first started at the beginning of 2020. And then, we saw the unfortunate events that happened with George Floyd as well, and how all these big brands weren't really supporting the Black community during that time, considering, we have a very high purchasing power. And so to see that we weren't, you know, being considered or regarded during that really difficult time. I think it was like, it was an eye opener. It's like we kind of got to support one another and, take the wheel into our own hands. And so it started in a group chat. We were just talking, and that's where the idea for starting our own online beauty supply store came to play. And the pandemic, because we're all working virtually, my business partners and I, it gave us the opportunity to build something out. I mean, we thought we were going to launch in November 2020. That did not happen at all. But we were able to really sit back, observe what was happening around us, take a moment to think about which direction the world is heading into. So many companies didn't even like adapt to that online space, and some of them were forced to and didn't have those proper processes in place on their websites, ensure seamless shopping experiences for their clients. So in the background, we were like, wow, like this is where we're headed. Like watching how much Amazon had grown because of the pandemic. Okay, it was like this online space is obviously where we're headed, and we kind of need to be at the front of that, especially within our specific online beauty supply store industry. There weren't many online beauty supply stores that were doing, what we're doing right now, or had that website that was very seamless and easy to use. And so we wanted to be able to be at the forefront of that. And so I would say it helped us positively, the pandemic, to build our business.
Well, that's amazing. Now, sorry about that. So now, how do you take time to focus on yourself and your mental health while trying to maintain a business and kind of going through the pandemic?
I think, again, for me, taking time to focus on my mental health, sometimes it may just be that I need to take a nap. With so many things happening around me, with my full-time job, and then also like with the business, it can get a lot. And sometimes it's like, I need to recognize that I need to just kind of take a break. But again, going back to the one thing that has really been helping me again is staying active. Before the gyms were open, I would sometimes just go for walks during the day, just being mindful, practicing mindfulness and gratitude as well. And recognizing that I am in a place where I am able to do this also helps me with my mental. But again, sometimes you just need a break. And it's like, you shouldn't feel guilty about taking a break. So I just take a break. I take that nap. I take that trip to the mall. I take that trip to get some ice cream or a McFlurry from McDonald's. I just recognize that I need a break. But when I don't get the chance to take a break, going to the gym is like that 1 hour where I just kind of remove myself from everything happening around me and just really get to focus on me, my health, and my mental wealth.
Amazing. So I have another, I guess, important fact to throw out there. When I'm asking questions, I like to see like where some of this information is coming from. I just want to know what are other people going through, especially people in our community. So according to a report by the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, one catalyst for this influx of Black women entrepreneurs is the desire to escape workplace discrimination, which has been known to negatively impact our mental health. So I know you said like you and your friends or kind of like just started this with a group text, but what encouraged you to create the business?
The fact that all these other Black owned, okay, so there was multiple factors actually. The first is, yes, wanting to escape the 9 to 5 in a place where we're working for people who don't really recognize us, who don't really have, those diversity and inclusion best practices in place within the workplace. So there was that. It was also the catalyst of, the unfortunate events that took place with George Floyd. That was, and seeing everything that happened after that with all these other businesses who were not who were not there for us, who needed to be called out to be able to speak up on the atrocities that took place. And we were literally just like, where are the beauty supply stores in all of this? Like their main consumers are being so impacted by this event. And what did you guys have to say? And you guys did nothing to support us. Like, obviously, I don't know how much these Black-owned beauty supply stores could even do to support us, but it was like there were no messages that came out on their platforms to acknowledge what was happening. And just seeing other brands, really big brands that the Black community really support, that weren't acknowledging us. We were like, okay, we need to start something where not only are we catering to our people, but when we're able to, when we have the capacity to, we'll be able to give back to our people. And that was really like the catalyst for us starting. All of those three before things that I just said were really the catalyst for us starting Beauty, Braids, and Beyond.
Okay, so what experiences in your life, work, or family inform your thinking about mental health? So maybe just separately from the business, just helping you.
Okay, so in the Black community, there's always that stigma of mental health. If you're feeling down some days, your family is gonna say there's nothing wrong with you. If you're telling them you think you have like, if you think you're depressed, no, you're not. Go pray, go read your Bible. Something to that nature was always like usually the response. I would say that moving to I went to school in Ottawa. All of my business partners and I, that's where we actually met. But being away and being in my own space and recognizing that sometimes, I am just not who I'd like to be. I may really be dealing with something, and recognizing that it's okay is something that's really impacted the way I kind of navigate mental health and wellness. Also speaking to other people and having like solid support systems and realizing how much of an impact that can have on your mental health also helped me realize like, okay, this is like real. Other people are really going through it, and we really need to just be there for one another, because sometimes just being there for one another helps make all the difference. And then also like observing people as well, seeing how sometimes their moods can go up and down, and maybe you're that person to make their day or help them feel a little bit better. I observing that and seeing that, it's like, okay, like people really are going through it, and we need to be more mindful of that, and we need to like be more give people more grace to just kind of get through those lows that they're experiencing, because it is real, and you should never ever judge people for being in a place that they don't even want to be in. So did I answer that question?
Yes, no,
Okay.
yes, you most definitely did. And I like that you touched on stigma. So what does stigma mean to you, that word?
Stigma means stigma to me means just like not believing something or associating something with another thing that isn't necessarily true. Sometimes there's stigma towards, and I'll use mental health as an example, right? And that's because people don't think it's real. And I feel like to be able to overcome that, people just need to be more open-minded and recognize that not everything that you think is true is necessarily true. There's so many different perspectives, worldviews, and experiences that form the way we're able to think. And I think being responsive to that and open to that, and also allowing yourself to recognize that, is where we can kind of start that bandwagon for eliminating stigma in everything, not just mental health.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that as well. So, like, how do you think stigma is perpetuated? And I want to say first, as a Black business owner, and secondly, mental health, like within our community. So we'll just start with the first one. So, how do you think stigma is perpetuated for Black-owned businesses?
In what sense, if you don't mind?
Yeah, no problem. So something that I remember, this is pre-pandemic, is that for a lot of Black businesses, people assume like they don't want to support because they don't have good customer service. So they don't want to go and support their business. They overcharge. They never tell you the right price, right? It's like we have our own like um, prejudice
Yeah.
towards those within our community. So how do you think that stigma is perpetuated outside, right? We're saying this amongst ourselves in our community, but what is the
Everybody
outside,
else.
yeah, saying about us?
I feel like, and this is really funny. I'm gonna use again. I'm gonna use exactly our business as an example. While we do cater to primarily to Black men and women, it's not to say that other people can't use our product. There's that stigma for thinking that our products are only for Black people, or our products are even within the Black community. We do use um, a lot of women right now with our marketing, who are like that browner to darker complexion, right? So sometimes there are like we'll say Guyanese people with curly hair, like the Indian Guyanese people with curly hair, or lighter skinned women or men with curly hair who think that our products aren't for them. But they are for you. And it's not that we don't want you shopping there. It's just you had said something earlier. There are certain things that are catered specifically for me, like when they locked off that section for Black hair and like let's say Walmart. Like that's something that's for me, specifically for me. It's not to say that you can't use it, but we need our own things too sometimes. And again, going back to what I was just saying before, it's not to say you can't use it, but we need to be mindful that there are some people who are really underrepresented in every industry, and they need that space as well. And so we want to be able to give that space. And so I think that's like the biggest stigma that we've observed. And this ties back to the education. We want to make sure that again our platform is still growing, we're still building, we're still learning and researching, and being able to provide that education on what products would work best on the hair type. Like you may not see that individual that you think would or that individual that you could identify with on our site right now. I'll say we're continuously improving and taking feedback so we could be better and be more mindful of who our consumers are. But we want in those descriptions for you to say this works on looser texture curls, this works on those 3B 3C curls, this works on the 4A 4B curls, so at the end of the day that this is for you. And that's one stigma. On the personal side, stigma on the can you repeat the question again? Sorry. I'm just
Yeah,
thinking on
how
the
do you,
personal side.
no, no, no. You were on there. I was like, oh, you remembered. How do you think stigma is perpetuated in mental health?
Oh, okay. In mental health, I think it's lack of education. I think we don't know what we don't know, and we can't assume we know what we really don't know. And so, yeah, I think that's how stigma is continuously perpetuated, is lack of education and lack of openness to being educated. We need to recognize that we're not always right and we don't always know everything. And there are multiple worldviews, and we need to, it's important that, we help others kind of see that when maybe they're not as open to seeing that.
Thank you so much. Actually, that was all the questions I had. Thank you so much, Rochelle, for sharing about your business. And before we even jump into the questions, where can people find you? What is your, I was going to say your hashtag, but that's not the right word. Where can we find you on
Handle.
Instagram? Yes, your Instagram handles.
Okay, so first, you can go to our website. We actually do have a discount code for everyone here today, Kujenga20, and you'll get 20% off your purchase. But you can find us on Instagram at Beauty Braids and Beyond, Facebook, Beauty Braids and Beyond, and TikTok, Beauty Braids Beyond. But yes, I'll type in the code for everybody to see. But definitely it's available until the end of the month. And even if you don't buy anything, definitely take a look at the site. If you have any recommendations or feedback, we are always open to hearing it. And so I think I just give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I have the right code. I'm checking my notes.
And it's beautybraidsbeyond.com, right?
Beauty Braid, here, I'll type it in as well. www.beauty braids and beyond.com. There we go. Thank you so much for having me here today. It was so great like talking to you guys and being able to share our experiences here at Beauty Braids and Beyond with everyone in attendance today.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'm just gonna go through the chat. So the first, someone said it's genius. There are many parents that have biracial children that need this very valuable support, which I totally agree. Like you said before.
I'm sorry, my internet just got really slow.
Oh, can you still? Oh, there. I think. Yep. I see your eyes moving. I'm gonna say that it's working.
Back.
It's lagging a little, but it's working. Okay. Yes. So like as you mentioned before, there is a lot of hesitance, right, for other people of color to kind of shop in the areas where there are Black specific sections. So I guess my question to you would be, how would you try to kind of be more welcoming, especially for someone who might be afraid to shop online, who's unsure? How can you help someone navigate online through that?
So I would say if you're ever shopping online, whether it be here or be at Beauty Braids and Beyond or any online website, I think the first thing that you want to do, especially if you're not comfortable with shopping online, is understanding what the company's policies are, because that will really impact if you decide to shop from them or not. I know, like for me personally, it's really hard for me to shop sometimes for clothes online because like my body type, sometimes like the size varies from website to website. And so sometimes I'll be hesitant on shopping from places where they may not accept refunds or they make it really difficult for me to return because I don't want to like have to deal with that. But again, if wherever you're shopping online, I would just recommend to definitely read the policies that they have, especially like their shipping policies or their return policies and their return policies, not or. So you could see if this is something you're comfortable doing.
Thank you. So a question here is, what about Black owned hair care products? So I guess they're asking what type of Black hair care products that you sell at your store, and do you manufacture the products yourselves?
Okay, so we're like your typical beauty supply store. We have beauty supply products from all your favorite brands, Black owned and non-Black owned. You'll be able to find those on our site, but we also have Black owned hair care brands, which we just launched on our website yesterday. So this month we created these different self-care and hair care packages that cater to our hair, cater to our needs in different stages of our hair care maintenance. And all the brands that are featured are all Black owned. So we have Frise, which is a Black owned hair care, Black owned and women owned Canada based hair care brand. We also have Grace by Nature, I know she hand makes her product. Um, and she's located in, I think, the GTA. Yes, the GTA. We also have Mellow Hair. I, I love all of their products, by the way. Like, all of their products are so amazing. We had the privilege of being able to actually test them before we bought them, and they were fantastic. Mellow Hair, she's located in Alberta, Calgary, Alberta, and we have a few of her products on there. Um, we have some of our own products as well. We have silk scrunchies, um, bonnets, silk bonnets, satin bonnets, silk scrunchies. We have eyelashes as well. I'm wearing some right now. These are our golden lashes. And we are also going to be dropping our own premium stretch braiding here very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. On our socials, we've showcased a little bit of them already, but those will be coming to our site very, very, very soon. And then in the next few weeks, we'll also be unrolling like faux locks, crochet braids and crochet twists, hair that you can do Senegalese and passion twists with. We'll have all your extension needs. But one thing that I do want to say, especially, you know, as we're continuing to grow, we did mention that like one of our main values are to collaborate. And, you know, we're talking about the purchasing power of, you know, the Black community. And it's important that we are able to, you know, support these other Black owned businesses and give them like space on our platform, because at the end of the day, like we have these packages that, you know, you get to see 3 or more different brands in. You get to test all of these different brands, see which ones you like, see which ones you love, and, you know, continue to support them off our platform, on our platform, however you choose. But it's like, at least you get familiar with them somewhere, and then you can continue to support them elsewhere afterwards.
Awesome, awesome. So again, if there's any more questions, you can type it in the chat or put it in the Q&A. Nicole, I don't know if you have any questions for Rochelle.
No, I just want to thank you so much for coming out today, for sharing your journey. I think it was very powerful. As an entrepreneur myself, I kind of resonated with a lot of the comments that you shared as well, and just wanted to thank you for that and for highlighting it. I guess I would, you know, when I think about hair, I think about the sweet memories I have growing up. I mean, sweet, but also, you know, my mom was like hitting my hand if I moved. But, you know, the connections that we had around our hair, like our hair is so much part of our identity, and gives us power, makes us feel royal and beautiful. And so, you know, those connections is what we're here for, right? And so having an organization, a business that promotes beauty, that promotes our excellence, our identity, is exactly what we need. And I continue to wish you success and excellence throughout your journey. And please continue to connect with us. As you saw in one of our slides, makeshift slides, we are having a wellness fair coming up next year, and just being able to have your products, hopefully you can come out for all 3 days and present your products and you know, talk to our community. I think that would be amazing if you could do that. So please keep in touch with us for sure.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much
Okay, good.
for having me. I enjoyed talking with both of you today, and this has been amazing. I really do look forward to collaborating again in the future with Kujenga. You guys, your first of all, your opening remarks and the videos that you shared, I was just with my screen off. I was like, this Debbie boy. I was like tearing up. I was like, yes, I love all of this content. It's so important what you guys are doing, especially like within the Black community. It's important that we have a place that, you know, puts an emphasis on ensuring our own mental health and wellness.
Yes, thank you so much, Rochelle. And yes, we'll keep in touch for sure. Appreciate it. And Alicia, keep